Hello everyone, this is Richard from Our Vision Graphics here, and today we have a short tutorial of how to create a simple flyer like this in Photoshop. So to begin with, we create a new page by pressing Ctrl N, and the dimensions is going to be 5 by 5 versus always be put in social media, a background color to height, and we rename it to Data Club as the name. So we create. Once we begin to create, we import images for our background. So this image will be the first image that will be imported, and it will go ahead to import the second image as well, which is this one. Alright, so for this image, I like to transform it by pressing Ctrl T, and I reposition it like this so that this part comes here. Afterwards, I bring in the second image, which will be this one, and for here, I'll introduce our layer mask and our brush of these edges. So the hardness of the brush will be set to 0, and I'll begin to brush off these edges. If you want to get a bigger brush, just press on the square brackets to get the bigger bracket, and the other one to get the smaller one to adjust it. So yes, after we achieve something like this, we're going to go ahead to select both of them, press Ctrl and T, and we rename it to background, short for BG. Afterwards, we go ahead to report the fonts for the data plug. So this font will be linked in the description below. I created it to save time. I'm just going to add it in the file so you can use it. So data plug, and I'm going to resize it. See about this size. Okay. Once we achieve this, we are going to add a bit of shadows. A bit of shadow. The shadows is going to be very slight, normal. We set this to normal opacity, and it keeps bring down the distance and the scale. We just want a bit of the shadows. So you see the difference here, just very slight. Okay, so it gives it a 3D effect, nothing serious. Done. Alright, so after we have this here, we are going to import this image as well. This image, and you resize it. We take away the white background to select the image and click on this. We take away the white background. Perfect. Once it's gone, you resize it and put it around somewhere like this. Somewhere like this. Click OK. Because this is red, we would like to change this by adding hue and saturation. So you click on this, you go to hue and saturation, and you clip it. After you clip it, you adjust it like this. Adjust it like this once they list you. So once we achieve something like this, we pause. Alright. So we have our data plug here. We have this here. We are making progress. So after here, we go ahead to import this as well. We take away the background as usual. And this part was missing, so we undo it and we select subjects. So once you select subjects, please select these two to make adjustments to the subject. Then we select the layer mask to edit it. Now we have a perfect selection. You resize it and position it around somewhere like this. I think this should be coming here. This should be here like this, and a bit bigger like this, and he puts this one here as well. Good. So after here, because we don't want to interfere with the items on the flyer, we lock them so that it doesn't move when we don't actually want to make them. So we are going to select both of this and group them, group this as ship, and we lock that as well. So right now, this is when we are going to rename it to something like checkmark. All right, and we lock that as well. So everything up here is logged and it's not going to be tampered with, even if you select it's good. Once we are done with that, we are going to create a square here, a square here, and we round the edges a bit. The fill, we are going to select a fill of a yellow fill. I think you can get it. Yeah, entire shape of yellow. Okay, so the stroke is none, and we go ahead to add a bit of roundness to the edges of this. So like this is good. All right. So after we achieve a shape like this, we add a drop shadow like a big initially so that it gets the same theme as the initial one. So we we edit this a bit, and yes, I think this will be. Let's have the shabby here, and we are making progress. After here, we put in some texts. So the font we'll be using with the MTN Sans. Okay, so once we have all this here, we are making some progress to the flyer, and to make sure all these fonts that were typed are perfectly centered, we are going to select the square. We have to align it to the rectangle. So we select on the rectangle, we hold Control, and we select all the font that we type. So this one, the promo and the non-expiry, and we select this and make sure they are all aligned to the center separately. All right. So once we achieve something like this, we make progress and bring in squares. So for the square, the fill of the square is going to be white, and the stroke is going to be this shade of gray. This shade of gray. Ash. I think it's ash rather. So we bring in the first one. The fill is going to be white, and you change the stroke to something like 8. I think 8 is not enough, so we bring it somewhere 15. 15 still can do work. Let's do 20. Okay, I think just 20 is good. So we round the edges slightly like this, and very slightly, shouldn't be that much. So like this, and because what you are going to type is going to be in 3 folds, you are going to duplicate this by pressing Ctrl J, or we bring a duplicate here, and we duplicate the second one again by pressing Ctrl J, or again the duplicate here. But for this one, that is not going to have a lot of context. So we hold on Shift and we make it a bit smaller like this. After all these are done successfully, we go ahead to bring in the fonts. I'm going to fast forward the parts. Okay, so once we have all these fonts, we go ahead to give name to the different data packages and their meals. So we start by importing this ball here. It deletes the excess. We resize it. You press Ctrl T to resize it and make it small. Should be way smaller. This smaller. I can guess it's okay. So we are going to select the text tool and type in MTN. MTN. So once we have this, we are going to make a duplicate of there for by selecting and pressing Ctrl J. So once you have the duplicate, we put shift and our arrow key to move it to the left. By still holding shift, if you want to do it quickly, you just move them out and you get second duplicate. Once we have this, we can hold Alt and drag it, and we have the second duplicate again. To align them perfectly, you add shift by still holding on Alt, and you get it like this. Okay, but we would like to change the colors of the balls, because of course other telcos will not use yellow as MTN. So for this and this, we are going to group them, and we are going to add hue and saturation. So we click here and we add hue and saturation. We clip it to just the two balls, just this, and we make adjustment. So we make adjustment and we change the color to red. So we create a layer beneath all these layers like this, and we add shadows to the bottom of it. So we select our brush tool and we change the color to black, and we change the positioning of the brush like this, and you select on the layer. So when you have your mouse showing like this, you can press on the caps lock to change how the pointer looks, and you can adjust it by pressing your square bracket. So I have to straighten this a bit like this, and we go ahead to add shadows. So we add shadows here. I think it should be this one, this one, this one. Yes. So once you have the shadows, you go ahead to bring in the logos of the various telcos. In order to get the exact color of this, we have to bring the logo up. It shouldn't be between these, it should be up here, so that the hue and saturation doesn't affect it. So we have this, the AT, and we'll go ahead to add the telecell. So for the telecell, once you import it, it's going to appear like this, which differs from the ball. So you change the blending mode of the image to screen, and we get an effect like this. We can make the telecell larger and becomes beautiful. Yes. So once we have this, we are making good progress, and we go ahead to bring in the model. The image of the model is in a PNG form, for the background is made right after you import it. So yes, you get something like this. You can resize it according to your preference, and normally to get your images popping, this is perfect already. But in a case where you are using the different image and you have to make a few adjustments, you can select the image, you go to filter, and you go to camera raw filter. Currently I'm having issues with my camera raw filter. If I click it, the Photoshop is going to close. I don't know why. I'll have to fix it later. Okay, so we have the model here, and I'll select this. I think it's mode, so the shape, I'll unlock it, and I make it a bit smaller like this. I go ahead, select it again, and I position them like this. So yes, once you achieve something like this, we go ahead to add the contact number of the gentleman the flyer is for. So the contact number will be, alright, so the contacts, the number, the font is in Bebas, and the text, call, and WhatsApp is in MTN Sans. That's the name of the font. But we like to go ahead to introduce this core logo here too, just to make it, let's add an effect to it. So yes, you are going to hold Alt and you bring down the size and position it somewhere like this. Perfect. So at this stage, you are going to add a bit of typings here, fonts here. So he said he registers Alpha bundle, so I should add Alpha registration. So for the Alpha, I'm going to type Alpha, and the font is in Bebas. Since it's going to sit on the fight, a black background, the image should be twice. So I have the alpha, I press Ctrl J and I type registration here too. And I add MTN sans and I type also available. And it's going to be in black. Okay, so I capitalize just the initial letters like this. No, like this. And I change this to black. Alright, so once everything has been typed in, you select all the text, you press Ctrl and select all of them, all these three, and hold Ctrl and you can adapt it like this. So something like this. And I'll go ahead to resize them. Resize this and resize this too. Alright, so once you are making progress like this, for the information here, they are separate. This is separate from this and this is separate from this. So to create a difference, I'm going to go ahead to add a custom shape like this here. A custom shape like this here, and I put it here to create the difference. I'm going to change the fill to none and change the color to yellow and change the blending offsets to add a bit of bevel emboss, and you can pause the video to use these settings to get these effects on it. If you prefer just the yellow, just that for the yellow without bevel and emboss, it's going to be difficult to see. That's why I added that effect. Yes. And for the promotion runs for a month, I'm going to add a custom shape. So I go ahead to bring in this arrow shape. This arrow like so, and I duplicate it and bring it to the far end by pressing Ctrl G. I move it to this side and I press Ctrl T to reposition it and like this. So at this point, you have almost everything here. You have the contact numbers and all on the flyer. So you can see that she's looking at something on her phone. And I just wanted to create a realistic scene here. So I go ahead to default this image here. This image, and I get rid of the black parts. So I edit it, I resize it, and I put it around somewhere like this. Make it a bit smaller, indicating that this is the image she's received that has made her happy. So once I have this, I'm going to add a bit of text here. And for the text, because it's an iPhone notification, we are going to use the iPhone font. That's the San Francisco. Yes, so if you are going to find the font, you can type SF Grow Display. That's San Francisco Grow Display, and you get different type of typeface. So you type whichever information you would like to type. For me, I just typed data received from your best data log, and I put it here. To make sure it's not too lengthy, I make a bit of adjustment here. So I grade this part and align it to the right, like this, to the left, sorry, and I put in the medication here. As simple like this, and we have it. So I think that is all for now. So you add the information here, and yes, at this point you have every bit of the information on your flyer. If this video was educative, kindly like, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel for more videos of this nature. Thank you for having me, and I'm out.